The two-weight world champion called the Heartbreaker is coming to the UK and aiming to break the hearts of UK fight fans and Nick Ball. His name is Brandon Figueroa, and he is the challenger on February 7th. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
So, you've just had your press conference with Nick Ball. He was just talking about the face-off, quite a long face-off, but what's noticeable is the height difference as ever with Nick Ball. What did you make of him? What did you make of being around him today?
I mean, yeah, definitely a short fighter. But it's not strange for me. I fought Luis Neri, Oscar Escandon, and plenty of other short fighters. So, yeah, I have my fair share of short fighters.
That Luis Neri win was a big win for you, wasn't it? That was I watched that knockout actually the other day, and you were sort of swarming, and then suddenly he was on the floor, and you had to watch back what on earth happened in there, and you'd sunk in a little sneaky body shot.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was part of the game plan. Wild fighter, and I just waited until he opened up, and I got him with the perfect shot.
Do you think you can find that perfect shot against Nick Ball to actually get him out of there, or is this going to be a kind of a longer fight, a war of attrition?
It just depends, Sometimes if I see an opening, I'll take it. And like I said, he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight me. So that's gonna leave more openings for me to catch him in between shots and make him a little bit more vulnerable.
Just away from this Nick Ball fight, I've been kind of looking into your story a little bit. I followed your career from afar, and it sounded like your first fight was actually to just get the attention of your dad, because all the attention was on your brother Omar, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. My brother was a star, and my dad didn't believe in me. He said, "Nah, don't try boxing. You're not gonna be the one. Your brother's gonna be the one." And I said, "Okay, watch me." So here we are now.
How did you do it? At what point did you realise, okay, he's looking at me now. He's not just looking at Big Bro. He started looking at me.
It wasn't until I want to say around my 7th or 8th fight that I proved myself that, I have that pedigree, that world champion pedigree. So ever since then, he stopped doubting me.
Boxing's very much your family business. I said it at the presser. Your brother, of course, Omar, former world champion, and your dad was a bit of a street fighter, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and not only that, but my sister also was at the initiation of my career with my nutritionist and my strength and conditioning coach. And then my mom also tagged along, and my mom's a great cook. She has a business back home, and she was also tagging along with my sister, making me my meals. So, yeah, the fuel has to be perfect for me to go into fight shape and be prepared for a fight. So, yeah, that was my team back then.
One thing's for sure, though, the Figueroas can fight, right?
Of course, yes. We never back down from a fight.
Your 2025, how do you reflect on that?
But 2025, it was a tough year for me. I lost against Stephen Fulton. And, I bounced back against Joey Gonzalez, tough, gritty fighter. And, 2026 seems promising against Nick Ball. Great fight, great fighter. And this is the type of fights that I've been searching for, the type of fights I want, and the type of fights I want to give the fans.
What is the team looking like for this fight in terms of, I understand the Gonzalez fight last time out, that was the first time without your father, you'd moved to Manny Robles. Is that still the same setup now? What are we looking at?
Yes, of course. After this, tomorrow I fly back straight to LA and, start getting to work. So, Manny Robles is going to be in my corner this fight, and we're just very excited, to bring my style of boxing here in the UK and, hopefully blow the fans away.
How was that sort of transition? Because obviously your dad is your dad, and he's trained you his entire life, and you've decided after a loss to not be trained by him anymore. That sounds like a difficult conversation, was it?
Of course, but my dad's very understanding. He knows that I want to take it up another level. I really, really want this, and there's sacrifices to be made. And if I had to sacrifice my family to do so, then hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. And without sacrifices, you won't get anywhere. So I made that hard decision and talked to my family, and Manny Robles has a really, really good team, and I'm just very happy there.
You've left home essentially now. You've set up camp. Are you feeling a change in yourself as a man, like you've spread your wings kind of thing?
Oh yes, of course. I feel like I'm growing into myself, and I feel like this is just the beginning of Brandon. A new version of Brandon. But I'm very hungry as well, very ambitious, very driven, and I can't wait for February 7th so everyone can see that. It's going to be my second fight with Manny Robles, and I can't wait to go back to the drawing board and tweak things and just get better and better.
You throw a lot of punches. That feels like a problem. If I'm fighting you, I'm not, thankfully, but if I was a featherweight fighting you, that volume, combined with your toughness, you've never been stopped. I don't think I've ever seen you hurt or anything. You're a problem, right? And your volume is a real issue.
Yes, sir. Boxing is, get hit and not get hit, but, sometimes my style of boxing is just hit, just throw punches. And, last fight I threw 1,000 punches. That's what me and my team worked on. And hopefully this fight, maybe I'll throw 2,000.
Well, they call you the Heartbreaker. Do you feel you can break Nick Bull's heart?
Hopefully, God willing, I just want to come and have fun, enjoy myself, and, hopefully take the belt back.
There is this ongoing background noise. You even heard it at the presser today. My fault, sorry, but Inoue. And there's been a lot of talk about Nick Bull, Inoue. What a great fight that would be. Andrew Kane against the younger brother. You've called out Inoue yourself before as well. What are you making with this kind of noise of Bull Inoue in the background when he's got a fight with you?
I mean, it's respectable, Inoue is the best. Like I said, if you're a fighter, you're a man, you want to prove yourself. You want to fight against the best. So Inoue is that guy. He's a pound for pound for a reason, and he's a monster. So everyone wants to take a challenge at him, and first off, me and Nick Ball have to, fight it out and see who's the best man, and then whatever happens after,
But you fancy a bit of Inoue as well.
Of course, I've been looking for that fight for a while, but everything within due time, If Nick Ball's a fight that I have to get through to get to him or whoever, unifications, then this is my job. This is what I love to do, and I want to do it.
It feels like we're at a point in your career, because I read the social media comments, and the kind of feeling around Brandon Figueroa right now is you were fantastic. You had some great times, some great wins. But obviously there's the Fulton loss, and then there's the Gonzalez fight last time out. And people are saying perhaps you're past your best. What would you have to say to critics like that and this kind of word out there?
I mean, it's funny, but what they don't realize, I made a lot of changes this year with my team, my family, dramatic changes. So obviously, I'm just getting acclimated, It takes me a while for me to get my rhythm. But like I said, it's going to be my second fight with Manuel Robles. And I think we made a great team the first time. And I feel like this time we're going to do an even better job, It's kind of like a restoration of Brandon, kind of like a newcomer to Brandon. So, I made a lot of changes mentally, physically. So, obviously it's going to take a toll on a boxer. And, I feel like this fight, I'm more acclimated, more adaptable, to my coaches, to my training. And I feel like I'm going to just, kick it up a notch.
What would it mean to you to become a 3-time world champion?
It would mean everything, bringing a belt back home to my city, my people, and not only that, but yeah, crown myself as a 3-time world champion. And, that's for my legacy. That's what I want it to be. And hopefully I can continue becoming, multiple world champion.
And why do you beat Nick Bull February 7th?
Because I just wanted more. I wanted more. I feel like my heart doesn't show enough in fights. And if it does, then there's more to show. I just want this so bad. This is all I ever dreamed of doing, and I do this full time, and I love this sport with every bit of my heart, every bit of myself. So I'm willing to sacrifice anything for it. So I'm all in.
Best of luck.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.